Greetings, bot fans, and welcome to the AB Scale Project. I'm Krager, and this is Alpha Bravo. This is the only Alpha Bravo, so I've decided to scale my collection to him. Actually, thanks to Hasbro Takara's Classics, Henkai, Universe, and Generations toy lines, also known as Chug, we have a lot of options to collect our favorite characters at a reasonable price. The purpose of the show is to try to find the best representation for the characters in the Transformers universe. We're going to use Alpha Bravo as our every bot, our common size, our average height. For example, here's Optimus Prime. This doesn't quite look right, because they're around the same size. This looks a little bit more right. Optimus Prime is a leader, and leaders should be a little bit taller than your common bot. But which Prime is the best? Well, that's another episode. That'll have to be a milestone episode, because there are a lot of Optimus Primes. And small spoiler, it's not this one. For scale references, we'll be using the Sunbow scale chart compiled by TechRing on the TFW 2005 forums and IDW posters and comics. We'll be balancing 3 guidelines. Number 1, scale. Does the size work? 2, aesthetics. Does this look right? For my personal collection, I'm shooting for a pre-Unicron IDW comics appearance, but I'll also point out the best G1 as well. Number 3, playability. Is the figure fun to pose and or play with? I'll also add some arbitrary rules as we go along. We'll be looking primarily at Hasbro, Takara, and third-party products. Sometimes KOs will be featured if they are quality products, such as Ku Bao or Wei Shang. So join us on this journey for the best characters. Welcome to the AB Scale Project, and let's begin. First off, we'll jump into action with Springer. Perennial leader of the Wreckers in Season 3 Han Solo was first introduced in the 1986 Transformers movie and has gone on to feature in several forms of media, most notably the IDW Wreckers series. First question you're going to ask me is, why is Ironhide and Hotshot here? First, with Ironhide, there are 7 different third-party versions of Springer, and with the exception of Fans Project's Defenders here, our Masterpiece scale, the heights of those range between Ironhide and Open Play's Big Sprung. So for Chug scale, we can set aside most of the third-party offerings. With Hotshot here, this mold was used as BotCon exclusive to have a version of a land mode for Springer, and was paired with, the next year, the evac mode so you could have his helicopter mode, so that you could do your triple changing. This brings us to our first arbitrary rule. Triple changers gonna triple change. So you can set aside all the molds that don't do that. Now the G1 is great, but according to the scale chart, Springer should be a Voyager. So off he goes. We're down to these 3. Up until 2013, Defender here was the go-to Chug Springer, but then the Thrilling 30 mold came out. Aesthetically, Defender is out of the race because compared to the T30 and Siege mold here, it just doesn't measure up. So we're down to our winners. T30 mold here is obviously modeled after the Last Stand of the Wreckers comic, and the Siege mold is based off the G1 animation model with some scuff marks added. In my opinion, the T30 mold is one of the best molds of all time. So the winner is a T30 Springer, with the G1 Constellation Prize going to Siege Springer. Thanks for joining me today on For the AB Scale Project. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.